What's going on, guys? Eric coming back at you from the Nerd Cave. And today we have something a little bit different for you. Typically you see me go out, go shopping and that kind of thing. I've even done some packing videos. It's been a while since I've done anything about what I enjoy, what I picked up, what I like. I don't know if that I've ever done a proper pickups video on this channel, but I want to talk about some items that I picked up recently off camera. So first, as you may have seen, I've been getting a little bit more into comics recently. If you tuned into my video 2 videos ago, you would have seen that I picked up some comics at a local comic book show. Well, I did pick up some more. So the first of those, and certainly not the least, is going to be this copy of Darker Image #1. This is graded in a 9.6, so fairly desirable book, at least in my opinion. Got some cool rear art as well. But this is significant because it is the first appearance of the Maxx, who is a character that I love, a character I've always thought is really cool. Like the poor man's Batman in a way. He's really interesting character. If you've never heard of the Maxx, it's 2 X's. Highly recommend checking him out. Really cool character. A little bit more mature themed, so if you got kids out there, you know, maybe check it out first and see what you think of it for them.
Lots of other people could use my help, but somehow I always come back to old Maxx. He really thinks he's some kind of flaming superhero. Not that the city couldn't use one.
Another trio of comic books. First we'll look at Madballs #3. This is also graded CGC in a 7.0, white pages. Definitely an awesome book. If you've ever seen the shelf behind me, those little weird balls that are on the shelf, those are Madballs. It's an 80s toy. They had a cartoon, they had a comic book. It was pretty popular in the 80s. Now I think they have a bit of a resurgence comic book. They're doing like a crossover thing with Garbage Pail Kids. So that looks kind of interesting, especially if you're a Garbage Pail Kids fan. Wasn't so much my thing, but I love Madballs. We got Madballs #2, graded in 8.0. Pretty awesome book. I just love the artwork. I love the way the Madballs look. Definitely very reminiscent of a certain time, right? And then last but certainly not least, we have Madballs #1, also graded in a 7. Definitely another very cool book. Very happy to have this one. It's certainly not perfect condition. Obviously it's a 7, but it is super cool. You can see the actual toys on the back there. Alright, now stepping away from comic books, if you stuck around this long, mostly what people are familiar with me picking up on this channel is toys and video games, primarily to resell, but I do collect. Obviously you can see some of my collection stuff in the background, and in my other videos, if you follow me on TikTok, you'll see some of my other shelves, and the stuff that I have on those. I have some pretty crazy Resident Evil collection. Anyway, jump over to some of the video games. One that I just started playing. My in-laws actually gave me a GameStop gift card for Christmas, which was awesome. Parlayed that into Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I am enjoying. It is very XCOM-like. The actual battles are really fun. I feel like the cards give it a lot of variety. There's enough different things that you can do that, like, you can miss things on your turn if you're not playing fully strategically. It's a really good game. A lot of, like, boring stuff in between missions. So I haven't been wild about that. But overall, missions really fun. So if you like XCOM style battles, there's a lot of cool ones in this game. If you're the type of person who can just get totally turned off by kind of menial tasks in between those and think that may put you out of it, probably wouldn't recommend this game for you. I did also just start playing Final Fantasy Tactics Advance for a second time. And since I sold my copy after we got hit by the tornado, I've been looking pretty hard for Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2. I really wanted a complete copy. The copy that I had prior to everything was cartridge only, and even that one I think I got like $45-ish for. It's a pretty desirable game. It was all that happened to us kind of during COVID, so game prices were spiked. Finally got this complete. The game's not in here because it's inside of my 3DS right now. because as soon as I am done with Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, plan on jumping into this one. So yeah, it's chilling in my 3DS, waiting for me right now, but definitely excited to play this again. It's a game I played many years ago. Excellent game. Cannot recommend any Final Fantasy Tactics game enough. The original is excellent. The advanced games did some stuff a little bit differently, but they stand out on their own right. Fantastic games. And now jumping over to toys. First we're going to touch on, I don't do a lot of Funko Pop collecting anymore. I did start a group. At one point that group got quite large on Facebook. We have like around 3,000 people in that group. So pretty awesome. I still love the Funko Pops that I have, but it's not something I buy a lot of. But I did find this little guy at Goodwill. He did have a box at the time. I gave the box to a friend because I just wanted to put him on a shelf with my other loose Ash figures. Pretty awesome. Definitely love this. The Army of Darkness Ash Funko Pop.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
They had $25 on it. It had gone half price, so it was $12.50, which for this pop in box isn't terrible. Even loose, if you look at eBay, it's not a bad price for this pop. So I did go ahead and grab that. Like I said, I gave the box to a friend. Second figure I picked up, this one was actually an eBay pickup. I picked it up in a lot of Resident Evil figures, but this is the one I'm keeping for me. Is this Jill Valentine NECA figure. Just love the detail of NECA figures. It's one of the few things that I do collect is the Resident Evil NECA figures, and then, like I mentioned, I do have some Ash from Evil Dead NECA figures as well. I've got, I think now, 4 or 5 of the Resident Evil NECA figures. None of them are cheap. Last figure I picked up, last vintage figure I picked up, truly vintage. I did find something I've been looking for a long time, and that's this Maxx figure. This is pretty much the only vintage Maxx toy that exists to my knowledge figure. They didn't even do a Maxx toy line. It was a fairly short run show on Liquid Television.
MTV's stirring something up.
Liquid Television.
A new half-hour series of the coolest animation on TV.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Take cutting-edge cartoons, plop in a few surprises, add some spice, and shake. Sunday nights at 7:30, only on MTV.
Watch me!
Liquid Television. TV that melts in your face.
Television, even the comic book, I don't think ran for like 1 million issues or anything. I'm more into the earlier books in the series, so I don't know how long it went on beyond a certain point. But I've been looking for that figure for a while. Like I mentioned, it is a McFarlane Toys figure because they never did a proper toy line. I did get that figure complete in box with his little Izzes. These are kind of the bad guys. They come in 2 varieties, black and white. And he did come with all 4. So great to find him complete in box. The box was totally destroyed, but I got him, I think they ended up selling him to me for like $10, which I feel like it was just priced wrong. Honestly, that's about a $50 figure on eBay. So to grab that for $10 was great. Super happy to add it to the shelf. Definitely one I've been looking for a while. It's the only reason I search through Spawn figures when I go to stores. The last modern vintage inspired figures that I picked up are something I couldn't pass up. I thought about not getting them, and then I ended up going back. They finally did Dungeons and Dragons cartoon figures.
Hey, look! A Dungeons and Dragons ride! Wow, neat!
Give me a break.
I don't like this!
Whoa! What's happening?
Whoa! Where are we?
Look out!
So this is Diana. She comes with 2 different weapons. There's one staff that looks like she's spinning it, and then there's this kind of standard standalone staff, so it's the one she's been hanging out on the shelf with. And then we have Hank, kind of the de facto leader of the group. Again, he came with 2 bows. He has his magic bow, and then there is also a standard bow for Hank. One thing I found kind of weird, these figures, they have a lot of points of articulation, so they're a nice quality figure, but because they have so many points of articulation, It's a little tough to get them to stand up properly. They will stand up. You can get them there. They come with holes, but no stands. So I think they may have planned to have these guys with stands, and because of all the recent changes in Europe, in the UK, I think they may have had to not do plastic stands. The figures themselves are vinyl. They are a premium figure. They're $25 a piece. They come in a box like this, which I actually really like because there's a couple of tape tabs you can cut. You can just kind of open it up, take the figure out without like pulling off a bubble or something like you would in the past. This is the box for Diana. So it is an all paper box. Even the figure inside is not inside of a bubble. It is inside of essentially like it's wrapped in like tissue paper. And they do all come with dice, which is pretty cool. I got one more to show you, obviously, one has 3 dice. So I think they may have had plastic stands when they initially created them that would have helped them stand, but because of no plastic toys in Europe now, if you haven't seen that, that's the thing that's happening. I think they may have decided not to include the stands in the packaging. Last 2 figures, and certainly not least, these are the 2 I was most excited about, and honestly, the 2 that kind of pushed me over the line for buying this set now, because not all the figures, or not all the characters are out yet, but they did also do Bobby and Uni. And I mean, come on. Like, not only does it look great, but, and, you know, correct me if I'm wrong on this, I don't know that they ever did a vintage line of this. I know you can find, there's a PVC Uni that is vintage, that exists. It's like $100 figure. And it honestly looks much worse than this one. So, I was really happy to grab those. I think those are really awesome. So, great addition to the shelf. And then last thing, as you guys probably have seen in the background of some of my videos, I do collect Amiibos. I do have 100 and something of them, so I have quite a few Amiibos already, but I have been working on the Mario series Amiibos currently. There's a few that I actually picked up recently that I'm not going to show in this video just for the sake of time and talking too much about things that I bought, but I did buy some cool ones from the Mario series, and I did want to show them off here. But first, certainly not the worst one, as this Piranha Plant Amiibo. Really cool. I love Amiibos. They're like tiny statues. Like, I don't have room to collect statues, but I have room for tiny statues. And they have functionality in games, so they're kind of a video game item and a toy. There's really a lot of appeal with Amiibos. If you don't collect Amiibos, you know, honestly, don't get started, because you'll spend all of your money and then you'll hate me for it.
Stop it. Get some help.
But I love Amiibos, and they're a lot of fun to collect. So, Piranha Plant Amiibo. Picked up this Donkey Kong Amiibo in a trade, which I'll show some of in a future video. The audio didn't come out on it, but I did a trade-in at a game store with some kind of rare stuff, and this Donkey Kong Amiibo was one of the things that I came home with. The last few were eBay pickups, but I got good deals on them. I got Waluigi finally. I've been looking for a Waluigi to go with my Wario, so I'm pretty happy to have him. Awesome in purple. And then I got these 2 together. They weren't listed together, but I bought them both from the same seller, and they were able to kind of work me a deal on the price, and that was a big reason that I pulled the trigger on them now, because obviously with discontinued Amiibos, you can buy them really whenever. But those Amiibos that I picked up are Boo. But if you haven't seen with the Boo Amiibo, they do actually glow in the dark, which is pretty awesome. So that's kind of a surprise to me. I actually put it in my little light box to take a picture of it to post on social media. If you follow me on social media, you may have seen some of these before. But I put it in my light box to take a picture for social media, and then I shut the light box light off, was doing the post, and I looked up at Boo, and I'm like, oh wow, he's glowing. That's pretty awesome. Maybe that was common knowledge for other people, but I was pretty surprised and impressed. And then the other one that I got with him that I bundled in was the WarioWare Wario. As mentioned, I do have standard Wario already, but WarioWare Wario, pretty awesome. Super happy to grab that. So that's some of the pickups I've had recently. As I've talked about in past videos, I know you see me pick up a lot of stuff to buy and resell, but I am a pretty big collector. I collect a pretty significant variety of stuff. You've probably seen all sorts of different stuff in the background of videos. What was your favorite thing that I picked up from today? Was there anything that stuck out to you that you have in your collection that you really enjoy? Or is there a line even that you also collect? Are you into Amiibos? Are you into The Maxx, have you got into these Dungeons and Dragons figures? There's also Avenger and the Master that I'm still looking for. Apparently it was a Target exclusive. I think they might be sold out or they haven't come out yet. But we'll find out. But stay tuned for future videos. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the past 2 videos that I've been putting out since I kind of came back from my winter hiatus. I've had a lot of love on those videos, so I can't say it enough. I appreciate you guys a ton. We're almost up to 200 subscribers, which is crazy. You know, I expected like my family to watch this channel and like maybe some friends. So it's really nice that people are tuning in, they're checking out the channel, they're appreciating the content, they're taking something of value out of it, hopefully. We are looking at doing a giveaway when we hit 200 subscribers. What we're going to give away yet is unclear. But if there's a category you'd like to see me give away, be it video games, toys, vintage toys, you know, the kind of stuff that I sell, obviously. If there's a certain category you'd like to see me do a giveaway from, definitely drop it in the comments below, and that will help me kind of hone that in. I tried to do a giveaway once when the channel was even smaller, and honestly it wasn't very successful. We didn't have people really enter the giveaway, and we didn't end up being able to give anything away. So I would like to be able to give something away successfully this time, and your feedback, your likes, your subscribes, all that stuff helps us out a ton with reaching people who are interested in getting cool free stuff. Thank you guys so much again for sticking around to the end, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel so much. The growth that we've seen is incredible, and we appreciate you guys. It all comes from you. This channel would be nothing without the audience. So again, thank you so much. And when you see those toys and video games off in the distance, remember, it is not a mirage. You guys have a great day.